Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Ethereum injective and Solana price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. We're gonna start on the 2 hours chart here for Ethereum, where we are looking at a potential finished wave 1 here, with of course after 5 waves up, where we have finished a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for a wave 1, and then you might have finished here an ABC. We need of course to finish this expanding flat. We are in a wave B here, that because of course you did not cut a wave 5, this is kind of like a W, X, and a Y here somehow, finishing in 3 waves upward. Yeah, so meaning this is a wave B, of course, getting the fib levels for a wave B expanding flat, and dropping down, of course, here for potentially the 1.618, 1.38. And if you take a look, you have started already kind of like impulsive, but yeah, until we get, of course, invalidation here for a wave 4 and a 5. So I'm not sure here if we can count it as a 1, wave 1 here, A, B, and a C probably can be, and then having a wave 3 and then 4, meaning, yeah, still can be, because if this is your wave 1 over there, which is very likely, guys, invalidation of bearish. Here we go. So maybe if we go 15-minute chart, we can see it much clearer. Yes, this is a 1-2 here, and probably you have an A, B, and a C, or yeah, bigger wave 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Yeah, for a wave 3. Yes, can be, and then 4 and a 5 to finish the impulse. Yes, can be, guys. So you have a wave 1 here, ABC wave 2, and then you have a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5 for a wave 3, and then 4 and a 5. And that means, of course, this is a perfect impulse. I would say this is an impulse there. And what you are looking at here is definitely corrective Y. 15-minute chart, you start here as a 1, 2. Then we go a lot of correction and sideways, and everything else later on was simply overlapping. Nothing is impulsive here, even the highest candle there. You got a retracement, which of course invalidate any kind of impulse towards the upside. Therefore, you are definitely in W, X, and a Y. A lot of noise in the market right now, and I think you hear me a lot of times saying W, X, and a Y. And because the market is turning very complex right now, and very corrective. Okay, very corrective, and it might be very complex, guys, and tricky, but yeah, I'm seeing that we are still definitely looking for lower here for Ethereum. I'm still looking after the 3,900, 3,756. So therefore, you are in an impulse downward, you are in a correction upward. That means, of course, we continue the trend toward the downside. And of course, because we have already a scenario ABC and it is working perfectly so far, that means, of course, very, very high possibility. And if we get the linear chart here, you will see that the 0.38 pass exactly by the 1.618 for an expanding flat wave C. Great. So this is might be of course your target for a wave 2 over there, and then we take it from there and we start to see, of course, if a wave 3 is going to unfold toward the upside for higher prices, of course, here. All right, that was it for Ethereum. Let's see injective as well on the 2 hours chart. So injective, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Wave 5 as diagonal, finished wave 1, W, X, and a Y for a wave 2, and you got, of course, an impulse here for another wave 1, and currently we are in something very complex, W, X, and a Y again. And that because you have 3 waves down, very complex structure here, and yeah, because we counted already this for most of the altcoins as invalidation, of course, of 1112s, I believe that even if you didn't took this low yet, and you might still have a 1212 as an ABC here, wave 2, I doubt it. I doubt it so much, because ABC as a wave 2 is very long in time regarding the wave 1 here, and this is not really looking as a structure that is gonna be ended over there, because what I'm seeing here is a big 1, 2, A, B, and a C. So I'm looking for the 1.38 in confluence with a target for a wave 2 taken from the 1 here, which it has, of course, a bigger wave 2. Now, this wave 2 can be finished in two forms, right? We have the WXNY, or you have an ABC. The WXNY meaning you are looking here to finish in three-wave structure. And that means you finish already potentially even here a wave A as diagonal. You have the wave B. You are looking here for something as an ending diagonal, probably because you have here, you have here your correction, by the way, and you have an impulse here. So no, even not necessarily to be diagonal, you have an impulse here, which it might be, of course, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 toward the downside as a wave C. Very, very likely. Another scenario, of course, if you are in a wave C here, that means, of course, you are in double 1, 2 potentially here, and you're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 and a 5, 4 and a 5, which it might be very deep for injective. Yeah, so we have to be careful with it. Much higher possibility, therefore, is the WX and a Y here. You would like to see simply one impulse toward the downside hitting this area. Yep, so that was it for injective. Let's take a look at Solana. So for Solana, very interesting what we are looking at here. You might be, of course, in a 1, 2, and then another wave 1 here, finished as a leading diagonal, or it can be, of course, in bearish ABC, finished as an ending diagonal. And very important because, of course, Solana, if you go back to the latest update on the daily, you will see, of course, why we might be in a very high possibility in a wave C here, because we need, of course, to drop down for Solana anyway. But it can be not the right time for it. It still can be, of course, double 1, 2, and then dropping down after having another high for a new bull run. But what I'm looking at here for Solana, very interesting, even this move toward the upside looks very impulsive, by the way. For Solana, very interesting, unlike any other altcoin. But if we dive inside it here, let's check the eligibility here for an impulse. Are we really in an impulse? Well, starting from here, that is horrible, right? So unless you are in a wave 1 as the leading diagonal in zigzags here, but yeah, I mean, if this is an impulse, why this one is a zigzag? Unless, again, you have to think to start the count exactly from there, truncated. This is a part of this correction. Very tricky. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, 1, 2, and then you have a 1, 2 again, and you get the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, 4, and a 5. So you want to see simply continuation towards the upside. But I still see, of course, that this is a very unlikely scenario. I still see all of it as a big WX and a Y. A, B, and a C, X, and you're getting a wave Y, and we drop down. So that means why we drop down, because in case you are bullish here in 1, 2, 1, 2, you need to finish, of course, an ABC downward for wave 2 between those targets, this blue box, at 0.38. So despite this move, that it looks an impulse, it is much more likely that, again, it is a very complex WX and a Y, and I'm expecting, of course, a wave C downward here. Okay, unless you want to count this as 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, which is very unlikely, guys. Now, all of them are impulses, yeah, which is good for diagonal, nice, but I believe, of course, that we're gonna need a wave 2 there. Yep, so that was it for Solana, Injective, and Ethereum. Thank you for watching. Thank you for